everybody, welcome to another episode of Gamer Logic. I'm Mike Murtis, and this episode is called The Tale of Three Commodores. Now, a little back history on what the Commodore 64 is. It was one of the earlier computers that you could get at a decent price back in the 80s, and this was my first ever computer, second ever game console that I ever really played. The first being in television, and eventually my parents ended up either buying this or they got it from someone in the family. I don't quite remember. But it was a great computer, and there were so many great games that you could play on it, like Bruce Lee, Right Over Moscow, Beachhead, tons of stuff. I mean, I could go on and on with the list of games we had. And we had tons of games. Most of them were pirates, but it was a lot of fun. And I don't know what happened to ours. I know maybe it burnt out or something happened to it. It got crushed or something. And we ended up getting another one a few years down the line, but I don't remember whatever ended up happening to the second unit, which is unfortunate. So, kind of to fast forward to now, I decided, looking at all my game consoles and everything, that the next thing I wanted to get would be the Commodore 64. And I jumped online, took a look at Craigslist, and I found a guy selling a Commodore 64, the one you see here, the disk drive, as well as a ton of games, pirated games of course, but original games, a lot of them in the boxes, which was awesome. And he had all the hookups for it, which was amazing. So I decided it wasn't a bad price for pretty much getting everything in one shot, and I was going to pick it up. Now, I kind of lived a little far off the way, so we decided to meet halfway, which probably was my first mistake. And, you know, I've wanted to do this episode for quite some time, and unfortunately the whole thing kind of ended up blowing up in my face. So this is the start to the horror that is the tale of the three Commodores. So, I meet up with the seller, really nice guy. I met him at a McDonald's, and he had all the stuff. We were talking back and forth about some old Commodore stuff. He was a little shocked because obviously he was an older guy. When the Commodore came out, I was very little. I was only 2 or 3 years old, but we were talking about games and talking about all the cool features and stuff that you could do with it. And he seemed like an honest guy, and he did turn out to be an honest guy, but I gave him the money, he gave me the stuff, and I was on my way home to dive into the magic that is Commodore 64. Well, I got it home, I plugged it in, I got it hooked up. You could use any RF adapter pretty much under the sun to get this thing hooked up. And I plugged it in, flipped the switch on, and what did I get? Did I get the nice blue Commodore 64 screen ready to load up a game? No, I didn't. I got what's called the black screen of death, and I thought maybe it was my TV, so I hooked it up to a different TV, older TV. I tried different RF adapters, I tried different channels, and just nothing. So I got the black screen of death, essentially. So I looked up online to see what you could do to fix it. And what it turns out to be is it's either the SID music chip that the Commodore 64 uses, or I believe it's either the PET chip or the PLD chip that goes bad, and there's pretty much nothing you can do to get it working except actually pull the chips out and put some new ones in. I actually went through and removed all the chips off the circuit board and reinserted them just to kind of hope that it would fix the thing. And nothing, which is a real shame because cosmetically it's a little yellowed out, and it's missing a key, but it's in decent shape, and the disk drive was in decent shape too. I even opened it up to clean it out, and you know, no luck with the Commodore, which was really unfortunate. So I shot an email to the guy just saying, hey, I thought you said you tested this, and he said he did. And he was, you know, he was pretty disappointed with it, but he went out of his way and he gave me all my money back. And he told me that I could keep the disk drive and I could keep all the games because obviously he didn't have a use for them, which was pretty cool. So with that, I decided that I was going to take that money and not give up and go get another Commodore. So this takes me to going on to Racket Boy. And Racket Boy, their buy-sell forums has been phenomenal. I've never ever have had a problem with anybody doing an actual transaction with things. It's pretty good. So this, just a quick note before I finish this part of the story, is that none of this was the seller's fault who sold me my next Commodore. This was the evil USPS or whatever. Just didn't want it to make it happen. So, anyways, I'm looking online in the buy-sell forums, and it was like magic. Someone had a Commodore 64C listed on there, and I decided to pick it up. It was no yellowing on it. He had an S-video cable for it. It was brand new in the box. The thing looked absolutely phenomenal. I picked it up. I don't remember what the price was, but it was cheaper than what I paid for the disk drive and my original Commodore that I was trying to get. I also got a Super NES from him that wasn't yellowed. Well, he had a bad snowstorm where he was at, and he was unable to send it out, so there was a couple days delay there. And then when he actually did send it out, he then gave me the delivery confirmation, and the delivery confirmation didn't show up anything, which is really weird. So, to be quite honest with you, I was really worried that maybe he didn't send it out, or maybe something happened, or maybe the post office right off the bat lost it. So, for days I sat and waited and checked the tracking number, and nothing. So finally, about 3 weeks ago, the tracking number finally comes up with something saying that it's in Forest Park, Illinois, which is about 45 minutes from where I live. And it passed through the post office there, and it was on its way to the destination, or so the tracking number said. So I'm thinking, okay, cool, if it passed through there, then it's obviously going to be at the doorstep in a day or two. It wasn't. I would check the tracking number for the next 4 to 5 days, and it said that it was never scanned again. It still said its last scan was in Forest Park, Illinois. So I called the post office on a Saturday, talked to the lady, told her that there was no reason why it should take this long for the thing to get there. Now keep in mind that there's a Commodore 64 in box in this thing, okay, and there's also a Super Nintendo in here. So a box size, we're talking about something fairly decent. We're not talking about a first class envelope here that's easy to lose. Talked to the lady on the phone, and she said, in 2 business days we'll give you a call back and see if we can figure out anything with the package. Well, on a Tuesday, I get a call while I'm at work from someone with the post office, my local post office here. And the guy sounded like extremely happy on the phone, so I'm thinking, oh my God, he finally has it. So he calls, he says hello, and I say, from the sound of your voice, it sounds like you got good news. And he goes, unfortunately, I don't know any more than you know. He said that, the last listing for it was that it went through Forest Park, Illinois, and we don't know anything else about it. And I said, so now what? And he said, well, did the seller get insurance on it? The seller didn't get insurance on it. He said, well, at this point, there's nothing more that we can really do. The one thing is, if it was sent parcel post, we'll only put it on the mail truck if there's room for it. Which, to me, in the first place, is really, really stupid. I mean, if someone has a gigantic box of something that they need to get out there for cheap, are you telling me that the post office isn't going to ship the thing because they don't have room for it? How many days could they actually hold it for? So pretty much, I'm sure as a post office patron, he's not going to say, yeah, we lost it. So at that point, I was pretty much screwed on my second Commodore. And I talked to the seller a few times online, and he offered to give me back all my money. And I felt bad because, he obviously tried to get it out, and I was really worried on my side, and I was kind of doubting his integrity, but it wasn't his fault. And he would have lost both a brand new Commodore 64 and a Super NES sending out. So I couldn't ask for all my money back because he'd be losing out too. So I asked him if I could split the difference just to see if I could find another Commodore 64, and we met in the middle. He sent me half my money back, so it wasn't a complete loss for him. So this leads me to the last couple of weeks here, and that is finding another Commodore 64, not a Commodore 64C, just a Commodore 64 on eBay from a guy who lives in Indiana, so not super far away. The Commodore was selling for 20 bucks, and the description wasn't that good, but I could see from the description that there was a box, there was obviously the Commodore, there was the manual, there was the power supply. And I won the auction. And I won the auction on a Thursday. The guy emails me back on Friday. Now, I paid by PayPal, mind you. And he goes, I don't have your address. Can you email me your address? So right off the bat, I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of weird, because obviously if you looked at the PayPal transaction, it would say the address. I mean, I even looked at the receipt for the PayPal transaction, it would say it. Now, this guy's grammar, this guy's spelling, this guy's use of the caps lock key blew my mind. I could obviously tell that I wasn't dealing with a very intelligent individual, but I'm trying not to be mean here. So I responded quickly and just said, this is my address, and as soon as you send it out, please let me know. And if you're getting delivery confirmation with it, because I paid for expedited shipping, please send the delivery confirmation number with it so I can keep an eye on it, because I don't want it being out in the cold. The guy says no problem, he was going to try to get it out tonight, but he had a lot more stuff to get out, so he wasn't going to get it out till Saturday morning. So I let a couple days go by and I email and say, hey, didn't hear back from you, just curious if you sent it out. Nothing. Waited another 2 days. Emailed him again, asked him if I heard anything. Nothing. Waited 3 days. Emailed him again. Nothing. Found his personal email address. Emailed him. Nothing. So after that, I filed a PayPal complaint, and right now we're still waiting for the seller to email us back. And we haven't heard anything. And at this point, it's been a couple of weeks, so either the seller's a deadbeat seller, or the Commodore got lost again. So this is me taking a look at the Commodore 64 and saying, I'm not going to buy another one. After 3 Commodores, there has to be like secret forces at work preventing me to get my childhood computer system. I'm not spending any more money on it. It just seems to be a lost cause. Unless I can actually see a physical working Commodore that I can grab from somebody, it's not going to happen. So I wish I had something good to say on this episode, but this just goes to show that you know, through Craigslist and online, you can get screwed multiple times, and sometimes it's not meant to be with certain systems. So I think I'm just going to emulate Commodore 64 stuff from now on until I can physically find a system that I can grasp with my own hands and turn on and confirm it works. So that's all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed my tale of the tale of 3 Commodores. I'm Mike Murtis. Peace. Alright folks, so obviously you just watched the Tale of 3 Commodores video, and it seemed like it was going to end at a sad note. And literally 45 minutes after filming this, after filming the Tale of the 3 Commodores, the doorbell rang, and a box came. And I thought, oh my god, that dude from Indiana did send that 3rd Commodore after all. Well, that wasn't the case at all. This is actually the box from the Racket Boy seller, the one who sold me, that has been hiding out in shipping apparently almost more than a month. This is the one we called the post office about and everything, and the seller met me halfway on the money, and blows my mind that parcel post is so slow that it took over a month from someone from just North Carolina, package distance wise, for it to come through the mail and get to me. But it did get to me, and what you're looking at right here is, just as I described, a non-yellowed Super Nintendo and a Commodore 64C. So this video has a happy ending to it after all. I just actually emailed the seller back the 4250 that I got back from him, because it's only fair now that I got the item to make sure he gets all his money. But to show you right there, that's when it was sent out, January 19th. So it took quite some time to get that out. So a little under a month, but still totally insane. So that's pretty much it. The story has a happy ending, and I'm going to bust this thing out and enjoy it. Peace, guys.